Hey folks, it's your suburban prepper here. Welcome to part 2 of our complete guide to building a lawful and redundant bug-out route cache network. In part 1, we established the legal and ethical foundation of the system. We examined the different levels of caches, route planning, realistic family movement, calorie calculations, water security, and medical continuity. Now we are going to complete the system. We will cover clothing, shelter, sanitation, tools, communications, documents, container selection, lawful outdoor placement, commercial storage, family access, retrieval procedures, maintenance, realistic failure scenarios, and a 30-day implementation plan. The goal remains the same. We are not collecting random equipment. We are building a system that the family can actually operate when normal infrastructure is no longer reliable. Dry clothing can be more important than another tool. Include clothing appropriate to the family and season. Possible items include wool or synthetic socks, underwear, base layers, gloves, a warm hat, rain protection, a lightweight insulating layer, seasonal footwear, child-specific clothing, a repair kit. Vacuum sealing can reduce volume, but every sealed package should be inspected for leaks. Reflective emergency blankets have value, but they are not complete winter shelters. They provide little ground insulation. They can tear. They may trap condensation. A cold weather overnight plan should include waterproof overhead protection, wind protection, ground insulation, dry clothing, adequate calories, a realistic sleeping system, fire-making equipment where lawful and safe, knowledge of hypothermia, recognition, and treatment. In warm weather, the emphasis changes. The cache may need additional water capacity, electrolytes, sun protection, insect protection, cooling cloths, light-colored clothing, a shade system, extra treatment for blisters and friction injuries. Do not forget sanitation. Include toilet paper or compressed wipes, hand sanitizer, soap, waste bags, feminine hygiene products, diapers where needed, dental care supplies, pet waste bags, a small towel. A family that cannot manage waste, hygiene, and hand cleaning will quickly create medical problems. A practical route cache may include a reliable headlamp, spare batteries stored correctly, a compact flashlight, a multi-tool, a lawful cutting tool appropriate to the task, duct tape, cordage, repair materials, a sewing kit, a whistle, a signal mirror where appropriate, a waterproof notebook, pencils, printed maps, emergency contact information, a small power bank, compatible charging cables, a weather radio at larger resupply points. Do not pack tools merely because they look tactical. Every item should solve a defined problem. Avoid unnecessary duplication and excessive weight. A full-size saw, heavy knife, multiple fire kits, large cache reserve, extensive fishing equipment, multiple maps, clothing for several people, 9 liters of water, 10 pounds of dry food, shelter supplies, and a complete medical kit cannot realistically fit into a 20-pound family cache. Weigh every finished module. Record the weight. Record who is expected to carry it. If one adult cannot safely move the complete load, divide it into clearly labeled modules. For example, Module A, immediate hydration and food. Module B, clothing and shelter. Module C, medical and hygiene. Module D, destination equipment. This prevents one damaged handle or one injured adult from making the entire cache unusable. A modest emergency cache reserve may be useful during a localized outage when electronic payments fail. Use denominations appropriate to ordinary transactions. Do not place an unnecessarily large amount of cash in a location that could be lost, damaged, or stolen. Critical documents should be protected. Consider copies of identification, emergency contacts, insurance information, medication lists, allergy lists, important account numbers, property authorization documents, storage unit information, destination addresses, family communication plans. Protect sensitive information with appropriate encryption and secure physical storage. Do not place complete identity records, account passwords, and unprotected access codes together in one container. Selecting a container. Choose the container based on the environment and mission. A container intended for indoor destination storage does not need to withstand the same conditions as a container placed below ground on property you own. For indoor use, quality sealed totes, food-grade buckets, and durable storage bins may be appropriate. For outdoor or below-ground use, select a commercially manufactured waterproof system or an assembly whose materials and structural limitations you understand. Consider water resistance, soil pressure, freeze and thaw cycles, heat, rodents, insects, corrosion, ultraviolet exposure, gasket durability, ease of opening, replacement parts, food compatibility, chemical compatibility, the ability to detect moisture. Ordinary household totes may deform under soil pressure. Contractor bags and tape are not permanent structural systems. Expanding foam, paint, and rubberized coatings may add protection, but they do not automatically make a poorly designed container suitable for burial. Do not combine threaded PVC components and solvent welded components without understanding which surfaces are designed to receive primer, cement, gaskets, or thread sealant. One practical PVC design may use a permanently solvent welded end and a properly installed threaded cleanout assembly on the access end, but every component must be compatible and assembled according to the manufacturer's instructions. Commercially manufactured waterproof containers may be a better choice for viewers without construction experience. Before installing a container, conduct a leak test. Place dry absorbent paper inside. Seal the empty container. Secure it underwater for the test period. Remove it. Dry the exterior completely. Open it and inspect for moisture. You may also weigh moisture-indicating material before and after the test. A bathtub test confirms short-term water resistance. It does not guarantee years of performance under soil pressure, frost, roots, and temperature cycling. For that reason, build and test one pilot container before duplicating the design across the entire network. Every outdoor cache site should pass a legal, environmental, and accessibility review. Ask, do I own the property? Do I have written permission? Does the property owner understand what is being installed? Have underground utilities been located? Is excavation permitted? Is the area within a floodplain? Does water collect there? Will frost movement affect the container? Are there large roots? Is the soil stable? Could vehicles or equipment cross over the site? Could landscaping or construction disturb it? Can the family access it during every season? Can an injured or older family member reach it? Could a future property transfer make it inaccessible? Is there an alternative lawful location nearby? Can the site be documented without revealing it publicly? Does the installation create environmental damage? Do not install a cache near utility markers, drainage systems, septic components, wells, fuel systems, protected habitat, archaeological areas, or water bodies. Do not select a place merely because it appears hidden. Select it because it is lawful, stable, accessible, maintainable, and appropriate for the supplies. There is no universal burial depth. Depth depends on the container's structural rating, soil conditions, drainage, frost, root systems, surface loads, local rules, ease of recovery, the property owner's requirements. A shallow installation may be easier to inspect and retrieve, but more vulnerable to temperature changes and disturbance. A deeper installation may increase soil pressure, excavation difficulty, water exposure, and injury risk. Use the least invasive installation method that meets the mission. Unauthorized property, the process should include confirming written permission, requesting utility marking, checking flood and drainage conditions, reviewing the container specifications, photographing the authorized installation area for private records, removing soil carefully, keeping topsoil separate where appropriate, avoiding unnecessary root damage, placing the container without dropping or deforming it, backfilling according to the site and container design, restoring the surface responsibly, recording the date, recording the contents, recording the container type, recording the authorized property contact, recording inspection and rotation dates. Do not create instructions based around evading landowners, authorities, maintenance crews, or the public. The goal is responsible installation, not concealed unlawful activity. A commercial storage unit may provide a practical destination resupply option for some families. It can be useful when the final destination is too small, when family property lacks storage space, or when bulky supplies cannot be carried during the initial movement. A small unit may hold permitted clothing, bedding, empty water containers, permitted packaged food, tools, sanitation supplies, tents, cots, lighting, batteries where permitted, medical support equipment that can tolerate the environment, family records, pet supplies, cooking equipment. However, every facility has rules. Read the complete lease. Use accurate personal information. Do not provide fake information. Do not use someone else's identity. Do not misrepresent the contents. Do not create a false business name to avoid scrutiny. Privacy does not require dishonesty. Good operational security means limiting unnecessary disclosure while complying with the agreement and the law. Ask management before storing anything that could be restricted. Many facilities prohibit or restrict gasoline, diesel, propane, ammunition, explosives, compressed gases, medical oxygen, hazardous chemicals, perishable food, unsealed food, fueled equipment, certain batteries, medications, flammable liquids. Do not assume that a generator can be stored with fuel. Never start or operate a generator inside a storage unit, hallway, loading area, garage, or other enclosed or partially enclosed space. Carbon monoxide can accumulate rapidly. If the lease permits storage of a fully drained generator, remove it from the facility and transport it to a lawful outdoor testing location before operation. A storage unit is not a residence. Do not sleep, cook, operate heating equipment, or attempt to live inside the unit. It lacks the ventilation, sanitation, emergency exits, and safety systems required for habitation. Treat the unit as a lawful resupply point. Remove the supplies and transport them to an authorized shelter or destination property. Consider climate control for temperature-sensitive equipment, but remember that climate control can fail during a prolonged outage. Maintain a backup plan in case the facility loses power, changes ownership, changes access rules, restricts entry, experiences flooding, experiences fire, suffers theft, becomes unreachable. The commercial unit should strengthen the network, not become its only destination. A cache is useless if the family cannot locate or access it. Maintain redundant records. These may include secure GPS information, written directions, property names, lawful access instructions, storage unit numbers, gate codes, key locations, contact information, printed maps, photographs stored securely. Do not rely on one phone. Do not rely on one person's memory. At least 2 responsible adults should understand the route plan, the resupply locations, the property permissions, the inventory system, the maintenance schedule, the access codes, the conditions requiring the family to abandon a retrieval attempt. Never build a family survival system that only one person can operate. At the same time, do not distribute sensitive route and access information casually. Do not post addresses, coordinates, gate codes, family schedules, medical vulnerabilities, destination locations, photographs revealing access points, exact route information. Use secure storage and share information only with trusted people who genuinely need it. Before approaching a resupply point, stop and assess the area. Do not proceed automatically merely because the plan says a cache should be there. Abort retrieval if you observe floodwater, fire, downed electrical lines, damaged structures, chemical odors, law enforcement, or emergency operations, aggressive individuals, active conflict, unstable soil, a compromised container, unauthorized occupants, a blocked route, any situation that presents greater risk than the supplies are worth. Move to the alternate route or secondary resupply location. Do not spend hours searching for a missing cache. Establish a time limit. If the site has changed, the property is no longer accessible, or the container cannot be located quickly and safely, move on. That is why the family must carry an immediate reserve. A cache network is not a one-time project. Create an inventory for every location. Record container number, location category, property owner or facility, contents, quantities, expiration dates, purchase dates, installation dates, inspection dates, battery types, medication requirements, replacement schedule, access information, photographs. Do not use a universal 2-year rotation rule for everything. Rotate items according to the weakest component. Food may have one schedule, batteries may have another, medical supplies may have another, water containers may have another. Clothing may require seasonal changes. Commercial unit access information should be checked frequently. Inspect lawful outdoor locations after flooding, severe storms, freeze and thaw damage, construction, landscaping, property transfer, pest activity, major route changes. A complete excavation every year may create more damage than benefit. Use risk-based maintenance. Inspect externally where possible. Use moisture indicators. Test representative containers. Replace damaged components. Open the cache when product rotation, suspected moisture, structural damage, or site changes justify it. Scenario 1. Winter power failure. A prolonged winter outage affects heating, communications, fuel availability, and road conditions. The family delays departure until remaining at home becomes more dangerous than movement. The primary road is blocked by ice and disabled vehicles. The family uses the alternate route. After several hours, one person develops wet socks and early foot irritation. The first lawful resupply point provides dry socks, blister care materials, additional calories, warm hats, gloves, and a more reliable shelter layer. The family does not assume that a thin emergency blanket alone is sufficient for sleeping in severe cold. They use ground insulation, wind protection, dry clothing, adequate calories, and a proper overnight plan. The cache does not create safety by itself. The training and equipment work together. Vehicle failure. The vehicle becomes unusable before reaching the destination. The family removes the mobile emergency modules. Because the route cache was designed as a supplement rather than the entire supply system, the family retains critical medication, identification, water capacity, weather protection, and immediate calories. They move toward a lawful overnight location. At the next resupply point, they obtain additional food, water treatment capacity, foot care supplies, lighting, and printed route information. They do not depend on buried roadside fuel or hidden containers placed on property they do not control. Family movement with children. A fast-moving emergency requires evacuation with children. The original route estimate proves too aggressive. The children become tired sooner than expected. Because the cache spacing was based on practice walks rather than adult-only assumptions, the family reaches an overnight resupply point before exhaustion becomes a medical problem. The cache contains familiar foods, warm clothing, child-specific hygiene supplies, age-appropriate medication, and comfort items. Morale is not treated as a luxury. Calm children move more safely and make better decisions. Flooded primary route. The primary route becomes inaccessible because of flooding. The family does not attempt a dangerous water crossing. They move to the alternate route. One expected surface water source has been contaminated by floodwater and sewage. Because the water plan includes sealed emergency water and redundant treatment methods, the family does not attempt to filter visibly contaminated urban runoff. They continue toward a verified source. Cache failure. The family reaches the first planned resupply property and discovers that construction has disturbed the installation area. The cache is inaccessible. They do not remain in the area for hours. They do not take unnecessary risks. They record the loss and continue using the carried reserve. The alternate resupply point becomes the next objective. The system works because failure was expected. Medical dependency. A family member depends on medication and powered medical equipment. The emergency disrupts refrigeration and electricity. Because the medication plan was developed separately from the general cache plan, the family has current prescriptions, written medical information, appropriate storage, backup power, and identified medical destinations. The supplies were not buried in an uncontrolled container and forgotten. The medical plan receives the same attention as food, water, and shelter. Commercial facility inaccessible. The destination storage facility loses power and temporarily restricts gate access. The family does not attempt to force entry or occupy the unit. They move to the authorized destination property using supplies from their carried system and route caches. The commercial unit remains useful when access resumes, but it was never treated as the only source of food, clothing, medical equipment, or shelter. Days 1 through 3. Identify the emergency conditions that could require evacuation. Identify the lawful destination. Create the primary, alternate, and emergency routes. Print the maps. Record major hazards and choke points. Conduct daylight route inspections. Conduct a nighttime vehicle inspection where safe. Walk representative sections with a realistic load. Record the pace of the slowest family member. Evaluate feet, hydration, clothing, and equipment. Define the 3 cache categories. Determine which supplies belong in the carried system. Determine which supplies belong in a micro resupply cache. Determine which supplies belong in an overnight cache. Determine which supplies belong at the destination. Calculate calories correctly. Review water requirements. Build the medication continuity plan. Review child, older adult, disability, and pet needs. Create the first inventory. Select one lawful pilot location. Obtain written property permission where required. Request utility locating before any authorized excavation. Evaluate drainage, flooding, frost, roots, and accessibility. Choose the container. Pack the first pilot cache. Weigh every module. Label each module. Conduct the water intrusion test. Inspect every seal. Record expiration dates. Install or place the pilot cache using the least invasive lawful method. Update the maps. Create secure access records. Teach the second responsible adult how to locate and use it. Conduct a controlled retrieval exercise. Do not wait for an emergency to discover that the family cannot find, open, carry, or use the cache. Time the process. Inspect the equipment, correct problems, finalize the inventory, set maintenance dates, create alternate resupply options, review the plan with the family, record the abort criteria. Identify the next lawful location only after the first pilot system has been proven. Do not rush to install 8 caches. Build one reliable system. Test it through real weather and seasonal changes. Then expand carefully. A route cache network should never replace a prepared home, a reliable vehicle plan, a lawful destination, physical conditioning, medical continuity, or supplies carried on the body. It should connect those systems. A strong network gives the family options. It can provide food when travel takes longer than expected. It can provide dry clothing after exposure. It can replace water capacity, batteries, hygiene supplies, and medical materials. It can reduce the weight carried at the beginning of the movement. It can support a family when one route, vehicle, property, or storage location fails. But every cache can be damaged, discovered, flooded, frozen, stolen, restricted, or made inaccessible. Build redundancy, test the route, train the family. Keep every location lawful. Maintain accurate records. Protect sensitive information. Never post exact routes, addresses, access codes, medical vulnerabilities, or resupply locations publicly. Make sure more than one responsible adult can operate the system. Start with one route and one authorized pilot cache. Test it before you expand. Preparedness is not about hiding random containers and hoping they survive. It is about building a lawful, medically responsible, realistic system that can continue functioning when normal systems do not. Inside the Total Preparedness Program, this module connects directly to bug-out planning, family medical readiness, land navigation, water security, vehicle preparedness, shelter operations, food storage, communications, and destination planning. The objective is not to collect equipment. The objective is to build capability. This is not theory. This is experience. This is survival. This is resilience. This is preparedness.